we're gonna go into the Candace Owens, the Daily Wire. We got the interview with Ben Shapiro. He's speaking on the fact that he denies that Candace Owens got fired because of the Israel comments. Now, we know that Candace Owens has been real critical on what Israel has been doing in Palestine. So everybody's thinking that, hey, maybe this has to do with her getting fired. Listen to what Ben Shapiro says. I'm gonna give my commentary after that, but check out what Ben Shapiro said about all of this.
So let's do the elephant in the room for just a moment, because I saw you this week on Piers Morgan. He asked you repeatedly about Candace. You repeatedly basically said,
I won't talk about that. I'll say that here too.
Yeah, and that's fine. And, you know, it's interesting because we all sort of came up together to different extents, and we've all done a million things together in public events and networks and all of those things. It seems to me that at this moment, she's now a free agent. She happened to end up on Locals, which I created, and we're a platform, not a publisher that you guys are. Can you at least talk to just sort of where it's at now? She's not with you. She's free.
She's free to do whatever she wants to do, to be wherever she wants to be. And the difference between a publisher like the Daily Wire and a platform like Locals is obviously that a platform should have a very broad range of speech that it allows, including speech that maybe even the creators don't believe is inside what they would consider to be the Overton window. It's a very different thing than direct subsidization of particular opinions. The Daily Wire would not have a host, would not pay a host who was staunchly pro-abortion.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have no obligation to pay a host who is staunchly pro-abortion. And so when it comes to the hosts on the Daily Wire, obviously everyone is able to say what they want. Nobody ever comes to me and says, you can't say X. Nobody ever says that to Walsh. And no one ever said that to Candace. But the reality is that...
Do we really believe that? Okay, I'm gonna let them go, but do we really believe that? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Let's go.
There is an Overton window at the Daily Wire. Obviously, there was a non-meeting of the minds. That's pretty much all I can say on this. And, you know, a lot of this has happened publicly. But you know, to the extent that the Daily Wire is in fact not a publisher, it is that is in fact not a platform, it is a publisher. That means that there is no moral obligation for the Daily, and there's no free speech problem with the Daily Wire saying we don't wish to pay a particular host, or that host saying I don't wish to work here anymore, because again, there's a parting of the ways that you know is not really open for discussion at this point.
Does it surprise you that so many people, even on our side of this, are confused about that as it relates to free speech and quote unquote cancel culture? Like severing a business tie, as long as you're not throwing someone in jail, they're able to be everywhere else, is not.
I'm not super surprised at the controversy, honestly, because to a certain extent, I think that there's been a reaction on the right to the excesses of the left. So because what the left did is they said that the Overton window ought to be closed so tight that no one can get inside the Overton window. Basically, if you're to the right of Hillary Clinton, you can't be allowed inside the Overton window.
World,
yes, exactly. and not just with regard to platforms, but with regard to publishers. So, for example, this week, NBC News deciding that Ronna McDaniel was too much for them. Ronna McDaniel can't work at NBC News. The sacred halls of NBC News must not be sullied by the former head of the RNC. Jen Psaki, however, can have a show on MSNBC despite being the press secretary for the White House 5 seconds ago. Right? The right's response to that is, I think, correct to say you guys have shut the Overton window too tight, but I think some elements of the right have basically said there is no Overton window. The Overton window should be completely exploded with regard not just to platforms, with which I kind of agree, but with regard to publishers. So NBC News not only has an obligation to hire Ronna McDaniel, NBC News has the obligation to hire Alex Jones, for example.
Right, which just makes no sense at a business level, beyond free speech. I mean, there's a reason that networks exist.
Right, they have editorial positions. Yeah. Daily Wire has a very strong editorial position on a wide variety of issues. And by the way, I should say that there are a lot of people who are suggesting this is about disagreements over Israel. I mean, I can safely say it is not about disagreements over Israel, to the extent that, without reference to Candace at all here, Matt Walsh has taken the position that America ought not be involved in the Middle East at all. Matt Walsh's position, so far as I understand it, and I've talked to him about it, is that Israel, in a conflict between Israel and Hamas, Israel is obviously a more moral party than the genocidal terrorist group Hamas, but also it's very far away. He doesn't care, and it doesn't involve America. That's just a pure isolationist position. I disagree with it. I think it's wrong. I think that it's short-sighted. But again, he's on our platform. That is well within the range of acceptable discourse at the Daily Wire. So the notion that you have to mirror my exact perspectives on what Israel is doing in Gaza is obviously not true. based on the roster of hosts that we currently have. There are a lot of other factors, obviously, at play.
Right. So actually, let's connect that to something else going on.
So basically what he's saying is, you can't talk too crazy, but, it has to be in the realm of, what they believe in, which is still putting you in the box, right? So my thoughts on this is he has to respond to this because it's gonna Candace is hot right now. You know what I mean? Candace is big business. She's on the Breakfast Club. She's talking points that, she even got a lot more people on the in the black community, backing her up. So I think that he had to respond to this because it's going to make the Daily Wire look bad, or it looks like you have to talk, and this is not where media is going. People are getting more attention when they can speak their truth and they can say things that they feel that the people can connect with. And Candace understands that. She's a very smart woman. She understands that. But I want y'all to check out my live tonight. I'm going to be doing it with my friend Max. He's Jewish, and we're going to have our black Jewish talks about, how we feel and how we feel about certain subjects. We kind of do it once a week. We kind of go over this, how we feel about what's going on. We're going to probably bring this up. I like to hear a Jewish person's point of view, but it's going to be very interesting. I want y'all to check it out. But as far as Candace Owens, I think that Candace Owens is going to be just fine. I'm going to go over in the live tonight of her debate with the rabbi. I'm gonna get into Max. I want to see what Max got to say about that. Got some very interesting topics I'm gonna bring up, but I feel like this took a hit with Daily Wire. I think they took a hit with their platform because people want to be able to know that when someone's on your platform or when they're speaking, that they can speak their mind, that they don't have to worry about people having to hold their tongue for their job. Whenever, if your audience has to feel like that, I don't think your audience will be too big, and I don't think your audience will last long, in my opinion. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do you buy what Ben Shapiro was saying? Do you buy his explanation of this? Okay. I would say I'm not. I think it's like sometimes you just got to do the politically correct thing to keep your platform at getting viewers, the sponsors. You need, it needs to generate money, but you also gonna make principles that make sure everybody is in the realm of what you believe in. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Check me out tonight on live, 10:30. Peace. Make sure you get your free water test at envirely.com. Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.